Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So, I'm hopping on today to give a brief testimony. I've been holding on to it for years, but I guess I feel like it's just time to release some of it. Not all of it, but some of it. So, I'll start with my near death experience. And that started in 2011 after I lost my battle to infertility. Another story, another day. But I went to work and I started having faint or blackout spells and I didn't know it. So my sergeant, shout out to Lewis, he kind of pointed out, Tina, you're doing this, that, and the third. So I thought it was weird. So I made a doctor's appointment and I expressed to him what was happening. And he did that one little finger test, follow my finger. And I thought I did it a really good job, but it turned out not to be so. He said, "Oh, it looks like you have a little lesion. No worry, we'll take care of it." So I was like, "Oh, okay, a little lesion. That's no big deal." The way he said it, he made me feel like everything is no big deal. Everything was fine. And it wasn't until I checked out of my doctor's appointment and I got in my car and I was like, "Wait, whoa, a lesion? That's a tumor." So he immediately got me in to see. I had to go get an MRI, and I got the MRI scheduled, and I did the MRI, and that was on a Thursday. Don't remember the exact date, but I know it was a Thursday, and I know I was scheduled to come in on the following Tuesday to receive the results of the MRI. So that Thursday, I went in, I got my MRI with contrast, and I called it a day thinking everything's cool. On the way home, they called me and said, "We need you to come in tomorrow." It was at that time I knew something is really, really wrong. So we went in, me and my husband at the time went in, and the doctor told me that I have a brain tumor. And it was on my right temporal lobe, and it was about the size of a golf ball, almost a golf ball. He said he don't know how long it's gonna be there, so we gotta start our options. Y'all, when he said you have a brain tumor, I just dropped my head. It wasn't the fact that the news was so devastating. It was the fact that I had just had 3 surgeries already and I wasn't fully healed from the trauma of infertility. So I'm like, God, are you kidding me? Like, I thought that everything would be okay now that I decided to move on. And when I did, come to find out I have a brain tumor. So the doctor suggested that, we kind of study it. But once he said, "You have a brain tumor," I dropped my head and one tear fell out of my eye. And at that moment, it was like I felt the strength of God saying, "No, no." So I felt a different strength stand up in me. So when I had my head down and that tear was falling, I raised my head back up and I said, "Let's go. What I got to do." So after that, I went through several neurologists. So it was supposed to be the best in the state. They studied it for a year, and his conclusion was, "I think it's best you get it out." So they told me that they don't know how long, as I stated, it's been there, and they don't know how long I would have, but he said I could choose to leave it in or I could choose to take it out. But he said the main thing is, if I choose to leave it in, the minute it became malignant, because it was benign, by the way, but the minute it became malignant, I had two months to live, no question asked. So I let it stay in for a year because I'm praying and like, okay, what do I do? I'm just stuck, you know. So after that year, I felt I should go ahead and get it out, and to which we scheduled the surgery. So in 2012, I was scheduled to get the brain tumor removed. Everything went according to plan. I get there, you know, we get the surgery done and everything. And that's where I just had the most amazing experience of my life. After surgery, I woke up. My head was in the lap of an angel. I'm for sure in this angel. And beside that angel, to the right of me, was two other angels. And both of the angels was sitting there. And both of them had a gold brick. Each one had a gold brick in their hands. And the angel that that had my head in her lap, she was just rubbing my head, and they were singing a song like, my God, I have never in my life ever heard anything sound like that. It was like, whoa. And the most amazing part to it was they wasn't saying any words, but you knew what they were singing. It was just like, I'll put it to you like this. All these runs and everybody singing and really trying to put it out there, nothing compared to what I seen. So after I seen that, I raised my head up and I looked on her lap and I saw the blood that was coming out of my head because I was just out of surgery, so the wound was still bleeding. I laid back down and I noticed just how white it was. It was whiter. You know how it snows, and when you're first looking at the snow, you have to adjust your eyes because it was so bright. It was even more intense than that. And once I felt that brightness, I felt so filthy. Like, oh, I can't explain how filthy I felt. But I was like, God, send them back. It is too dirty down here. And after that, like, I kind of woke up and I was like, hey, they forgot my bricks. So they took the bricks. But after I woke up from that experience, and I don't even think I was woke, but I know for sure that that was an angel intervention, and it was the most wonderful experience that I've had in my life. And it was at that time that I knew a whole lot of stuff we tend to say is very important and we got to get this for God. God ain't even messed up about it. Now, a whole lot of stuff we feel like God ain't messed up about, I mean, it's nothing. He's concerned about it. He really is concerned. So it was through that experience I saw his love. And because of that experience, I get to explain or show people God is love. And he chooses to meet you where you are. If he got to send an angel or three, he's going to come see about his babies. So I guess I just want to release that part of my testimony to let you know heaven is fighting for you. You got to believe it. And just hold on. He's going to come see about you. I'm done with that. I hope it touched someone, and even if it doesn't, you guys have a good day. Bye.